us today. We struggled last night, obviously, and to bounce back in 13 hours to play a team as good as Tennessee and to hang in there under some fairly adverse conditions for some of our players. It was just a terrific win. One that we'll look back on in February, being very thankful we got it.
Questions?
What did you think of the showing from your bench today? Felt like it was a step up from what we've seen.
There's no question the bench was the players 5 through 9 were much better today, led kind of by Johnny and Parker and Jamari, obviously. But I thought they did great. And granted, now we're going to have to continue to develop some guys and that kind of stuff. But for Maury to play 27 minutes and in a big game, I mean, playing the 7th-ranked team in the country was pretty special.
And then you talked about the quick turnaround. You compared it to AAU. Just how do you feel like the players dealt with that?
I thought they did well. I thought we had good energy. You know, I've never been much of a morning person, but you know, going to bed and finishing the game last night and getting to the hotel at 10 or whatever time it was, or 9:30, whatever it was, and you know, you got walked through at 5:30. That's a pretty quick turnaround, but the guys handled it. We talked about being mature, and everybody's got a job to do. You got to do your job, and I thought they did a really good job. I thought my coaches did a good job getting them enthused, because even though the game was tied at halftime, we played pretty good the first half. I thought, you know, other than that early stretch, they went up 7. I thought we controlled the first half and didn't have much to show for it. So we felt pretty good at halftime.
Coach, I'd ask your guys about just the 3 games in the 3 days, and certainly like in a Final Four, you get that same level of talent that we had here in this tournament, but you also get a day in between if you play that final game. Is going through this and preparing for something like you just went through?
I think this prepares you more for your conference tournament than it does for the NCAA tournament. The thing about it is, this I'm sure Rick was the same way. Of course, everybody does their own deal and do it differently. But, you know, teams take a lot of pride in scouting opponents. We said, okay, here's 5 things Tennessee does, and let's just worry about that. We didn't do the 25 things that they do. So I thought today was more about players than it was anything else. And ESPN, I mean, they're awesome. They promote our sport as well and better than anybody else. But God, it seems like to me, if you played the last game, you shouldn't have to play the first game the next day. But that was the case.
What did you think of Hunter's performance today? He told us he felt he let the team down yesterday defensively.
Well, the guy that he guarded yesterday had an unbelievable game. He was great. Had an unbelievable game. I don't buy into his thinking at all, but I thought he did well today. You know, got to make his free throws, and you know, we can do a lot of. You know, we get 5 offensive rebounds total, but they only got 9 on more misses. So we actually did a good job on the defensive glass. But you know, that's 2 games that we played against 2 really good teams where guys got 20 and 21 rebounds in games. And if you were going to evaluate Hunter from Michigan, I would say that's one of the biggest areas he could improve in, was not only rebounding the ball in his area, but outside his area. So he's definitely getting better at that.
What happened to Timberlake?
He just, when there was a scrum and he hit his head. So I think somebody may have fell on his head, but he's fine, no concussion.
What are you going to do as a team the rest of the way in Hawaii, and when do you go back and all that?
I think our flight tomorrow is 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something like that. So we'll have the rest of the day. That's one advantage of playing at 6 a.m. in the morning, is that you have the rest of the day free to watch whatever or do whatever you want to do. So that'll be good. And then we'll eat a Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow afternoon as a group, and then we'll get on.
How would you assess the 2-1 record here?
Whenever you play a tournament, exempt tournament, everybody wants to go into it thinking 3-0. In this field, I guarantee it, all the coaches we're thinking 2-1's a good trip. Now, the two that are playing now, neither one's gonna be happy if they go 2-1 because they've already won two. But I don't think there's anybody in this field that would walk away from here saying 2-1 was not a successful trip.
That'll do it. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.